Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we are looking at Two Headed Stout. This is by Roscoe Beer Company, and it's coming in at 8.5% ABV. Let's check it out. Hi, it's Rich, and welcome to End of the Day Beer Review. And today, I was going back through the videos I've done for the channel, and I realized I've never done Roscoe's Two Headed Stout, or if I have, I couldn't find the video. And I was up at Larchmont and I was into Chico's and I saw this, which is Roscoe Beer Company's Two Headed Stout coming in at 8.5% ABV. Now, I have to be honest, and this was canned on 11/17/25, and today is like 12/3, I think. So this is pretty fresh. Also coming in at $5.99 a can where I bought it. But Roscoe Beer Company is this awesome little brewery in Roscoe, New York, which is called Trout Town because they have all sorts of fishing. I am not a fisherman. I have been through Roscoe really only because of the beer. And what I mean by that is during the pandemic, right before it actually, I had tried Roscoe's Two Headed Stout. A local distributor had it. But then the pandemic happened and you couldn't get anything. But in New York State, suddenly you could, or more breweries were shipping beer. So I ordered from Roscoe and they sent it down and it's awesome. And Roscoe is right off Route 17. Like literally you drive up 17, you get off at Roscoe. I forget which exit it is. And the brewery is maybe a mile or two down the road once you get into the town. And it's a beautiful little place. I mean, I've really not spent a ton of time at the brewery, but from what I see, it's got a really nice inside, has a really nice outdoor area. But they do make some good beers, and we've had some of their beers on the channel before, so I was sort of surprised because normally the first beer I go to is Stout, and I've had this before. Now they're calling this a limited legacy release, and I tried to go online and find out what the original Trout Town Stout was, or Two Headed Stout was, and I just couldn't do it. So this may actually not be representative of their typical stout. Now I am using my Guinness glass just because it's easier for you to see the beer. Let's give it a pour. And you know, it pours much like I remember it. It pours very dark. Unfortunately, I only get up to Roscoe during the summertime. And a lot of times their stout is not available during the summer, at least not in cans. So definitely a nice dark stout, a nice khaki head to it. There's some chocolate, there's some coffee in that nose. You can definitely smell the roastiness to it. Like this has a nice roast aroma to it. Almost like, there used to be a supermarket where I live that you would walk in, they had a big coffee section and you would smell sort of that like generic roast smell that was there with the coffee. And I'm getting sort of that very vague roast smell. Now, I don't mean to say that it's generic. I mean, it smells great, but I couldn't isolate like a specific coffee here one way or the other. But it has a really, really nice nose. Let's give it a taste. And remember, this is coming in at 8.5% ABV. And one of the criteria I always use to judge a beer is, you know, like, is this hiding, or, you know, is the alcohol burn the dominant physical interaction I'm having with the beer? And if it is, you know, I don't necessarily think that's indicative of a great beer. So let's give it a try. Let's see how Roscoe did. I think they've probably done well, but we'll see. So this is a thick stout, very chewy, a lot of body to it. A really, really nice sort of chocolate to coffee roast flavor on the tongue. It goes down very easy. No significant alcohol burn at 8.5%. This is beautiful. If I had one complaint, and it's very, very general, and it doesn't really apply to me, I think if you're not a fan of coffee, this might be a little bit more bitter than you want. But at the same time, if you sort of like that IPA bitterness, like a little bit of it on the back end of your tongue. This is really good. Now let's see if that bitterness becomes cumulative. No, you know, the flavor lingers, really nice. Again, that sort of chocolate coffee type of thing. It's not mocha, it's a little darker than that, and I mean both in the chocolate flavor and the coffee flavor. So it's definitely more robust than like a mocha. And if you like a good sort of full-bodied stout, this is it. I mean, I think it is just a beautiful beer. But remember, my preferred you know, genre type of beer, whatever, is always a stout. It just is. Now, that's not to say I can't like IPAs. Quite honestly, you know, breweries like Gusto, and then like, what's that one upstate in Middletown? Equilibrium. So like Gusto and Equilibrium both make really, really good IPAs. But you know, in your heart, everybody's got like their favorite. And the stout's my favorite. And quite frankly, this is a really, really well-developed, full-bodied, flavorful type of stout. I really like it. I like it a lot. Now, at $6 a can, you know, Roscoe normally sells 4-packs. So you're talking $24 for a 4-pack. It's a little pricier than a macro brew. Like, you know, you could get a lot more Guinness for $26 than you would at, let's say, you know, or $24 at Roscoe. But, you know, while I'm a big Guinness fan, this is like, you know, this is a full-bodied, deep, rich stout that honestly I think is perfect for someone who is a stout drinker. Is this one I would give to somebody who had never tried a stout before? It's not. I think it would be a little bit too harsh. But if you're somebody who likes a good, robust stout, I think Roscoe has done a really good job. And I remember their stout being excellent, but for some reason, I thought it was like a 5% beer. So I'm not sure if this has more alcohol in it than the Two Head Stout that they usually have. But I will say this, the alcohol is not the dominant flavor. It's that roastiness, it's that chocolate, and this is really very, very good. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. Would I drive the 3 hours to get it? Yes, probably I would. You know, because they also have a couple of other really good beers. I think their brown ale is quite nice. But yeah, this is worthy of a road trip. And more importantly, if I was driving up to, you know, let's say Buffalo, or, you know, like, you know, up to like Binghamton or something like that, I think this would be a definite stop on my way up. I think it would be like Equilibrium, probably Catskill Brewery, then Roscoe. And, you know, like, I think I would be in really, really good shape as far as, like, purchasing beer after that type of trip. So, would I buy Roscoe Beer Company's Two Headed Stout, their limited legacy release again? Absolutely. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a really good beer. And, you know, it's $6. Well, it's a little pricey. It's not, for what you're getting, it's not prohibitively expensive, in my opinion. So, anyway, folks, I hope you have enjoyed the review. If you have, hit that like button, maybe subscribe, maybe share the channel with others. I am going to sit back and really enjoy the rest of this and count the days until I'm heading up to Larchmont again to see if I can get a couple more. It's a very nice beer. I don't think it's one I would cellar, but it is a really nice beer. So, polishing the glasses, probably doing 2 or 3 reviews tonight. Listen, I realize the channel's been a little erratic lately, but it's the way life is. I'll try to keep it more on track and get us our 2 reviews. I will say this, I'm not doing the depth of Bourbon County reviews this year that I did last year, so that has cost me some views, but hey, such is life.